What's going on, world? It's August 29th, 2014, Friday, end of the week meeting. Me, S, Will. Just want to thank you, Lord, for another opportunity to come together at the end of the week. We didn't meet up last week, but this is meeting 89, and I'll jump right into it. Andrea Nunez, H.A. Ryder and Sons. Andrea sent me over an email with the pack report stating that we were able to produce 1,453 cases of Oost juice for our seventh production run. So I believe it's like 70 cases less than what we did the last one. Um, David Menine, I'm not sure how to really pronounce his last name, but this is a guy from Victoria's Kitchen. I asked David if he could do us our if he could give us an intro with his DSD distributor in SoCal, in which he had no problem doing so. Then I asked about who distributes to Hawaii for him, and he said UNFI, but he told me to stay away for now because they would make us go broke, in which I will heed to his advice. I remember reading something in the Beverage Entrepreneurs group we're in on LinkedIn that they want 40% profit margin, which makes sense to stay away for now. Uh, that's crazy. But it really made me think about them, about what Victoria's Kitchen is doing because they got that distributor, so they must be selling a lot of product. And I was like, oh man, but it's a lot cheaper for them as well because I believe the glass bottle that they're in is it's probably a 12 ounce or something. And then he was like just throwing out some numbers. They get it for for cheap. I think like talking about low, like under 50 cents or somewhere around there per bottle. And then he's selling them for whatever. But yeah, that's not where we're at. I mean, we're spending a lot, so in due time we'll figure out a way. And then once we get some serious cash flow to be able to handle a distributor like that, obviously we got a connection with David. Um, then Charlene Bisley and Resco Laboratories. We are running a 6-month study with the options to extend to 12. Sealed bottles at room temperature. The testing intervals would be monthly, six testing periods. I inquired if we can do an accelerated testing because we have plans to open up our account with Whole Foods within the next 4 to 6 weeks. Charlene told me that they do not recommend accelerated testing due to the fact the heat is not at room temperature and it could cause a reaction that wouldn't have been caused if the product was tested appropriately. The expense was $499, and if the product doesn't reach all 6 months and she aborts the study early due to overgrowth or yeast, we will be reimbursed for any testing periods not conducted. Basically, with this news, we may have to wait until February at the earliest or August at the latest to enter into Whole Foods. Annie Kervorkova, Everclean. I spoke with Annie and asked if we had to wait until February or is there a loophole so we don't prolong us getting into Whole Foods. She said that usually companies will run the test for a month, and if everything checks out, the next step would be to move. The next step would be to forward over the documentation, and all parties would communicate effectively and see if it's possible to move forward. Then, after the completion of the testing, those results will also have to be forwarded so they can keep it on file. The only thing we would need to do is ask Whole Foods if they would accept our latest lot that we ran on August 16th because of the fact that the test was only for a month, and since our caps have already been stamped for a full year, there may be an issue that could cause them to hold off until the completion of the shelf life stability testing. So basically, when I was talking to her and just trying to find out the necessary information, what I just said about the month testing, like after Anresco does the whole month of testing right now, we'll get that paperwork and we'll forward it to Everclean. And then Everclean, from what she told me, she said that they usually just advise Whole Foods, because it is high risk because it's only a month, and if it's stamped for a full year, and if anything happens, they just say, oh, there's a liability there since we're high risk. But since other companies have already done it, we may have a chance to get in there within a month after the testing. So September, after what was it, 25th? So after September 25th, so around October, we may have a shot. I talked to Sean Byrne of Whole Foods. I contacted him and told him about our current situation and asked him what his thoughts were. He reached out to Harvinder Singh, and I am awaiting a response back. Due to Labor Day, maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. We'll see. Then Toru Chiokawa, CTC Foods International. We sent out 2 samples to CTC, and it arrived yesterday, so I'll keep you all posted when I hear back from them next week. This company services the Japanese markets in LA. That's what David told me. He has 2 of them, which is this one, Japanese markets, and then there's the other one. It's called LA Distributing, and they service his cafe and markets accounts. So one of the things that I was thinking about, like when we're able to get distribution, and I talked with Ray about the play we have for Washington, and I still have the guys contact a brand new company. We talked, if you guys remember when we had brought them up. They're probably almost a year in business, but they come from California to go up there and distribute to their accounts and whatnot. If I wanted to proceed forward, like that's a play we have. They wanted to try out a pallet. The guy already said he just wanted to check out our website, and if I would have came at him with some, let's move forward. What are your profit margins? Got all that information from him, and see where we could go. I know. I just have a good feeling that they would have took on the product because of their retailers asking for it, and that was the only reason. Their retailers reached out to them, or their accounts, I should say, reached out to them to get this product, and so that already was a shoe in. The thing was, when I talked to Ray, he was not ready for it, and so sooner or later you're gonna have to take off the training wheels, because if this play comes into LA, we're talking about Japanese markets. LA, Southern Cal, for that matter, that's a huge market. And here goes the thing that we're going to have to figure out from a marketing standpoint is when we do get distribution, how are we going to be able to tap into these markets to get off this product? Because it's because of the fact that there really isn't a presence in LA. We don't have any family members. We have family, but to be able to go out there and do what we do here, that's going to be a tough part, especially when there's no money on the table for them to want to go there, go and do what is necessary. And we don't know. I mean, we don't even really know how distribution works. We know how our distribution works, but signing an account and what it really takes or requires of us to make something happen in markets that are uncharted territory for that matter. We can always continue to ask questions, which I will do. I mean, because if it's already been done, you know, people are doing it all the time. David is doing it with Victoria's Kitchen. I mean, he doesn't have any presence up in the Northern California area or in Hawaii for that matter. And then even in the other places that he's already went national, but there's like, you know, he doesn't have a presence there. But once we do make that jump, I'm definitely going to be on him, you know, asking, how'd you do it? I mean, you know, what did you do to make to actually get into where whatever stores you're in, there's people buying your product. What'd you do? And the thing that I think of, and it came to me to the only reason why I'm saying this right now is because it literally came to me today. Um, it's through it's through articles being written about us. It's through radio and advertisement, the things that we've already went over and we know. Um, this how crazy this article is from the Monterey Weekly, because I ran into one guy. He's from Marina, and I was doing sampling out in Salinas today at 7-Eleven on South Main. The guy was just walking by. He's like, "Oh man, I've been wanting to try this out." And I was like, "Huh? Oh, here's your lucky day." He's like, "Man, I read about you guys in the weekly. This is over a year later." And I'm like, "Wow, for real? You don't know how many times we hear that." He said, "Yeah, I'm from Marina." Like, "What? You from Marina?" He said, "Man, I always see the big old sign at the Shell gas station." And I said, "Man," but he never bought one. And so I'm just like, well, if you've seen that, why not go and, I mean, you read the article, you see the signs, you see the growth, might as well go try. But anyways, he tried today, and he finally went and bought one. And then the crazy thing is that guy hit me up, and then some lady just reached out to us on through our contact page on our website, and she is from Vista, California. I believe Vista, California is down south, or you know, somewhere down there.
Yeah, that's in LA.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. And this lady says she read about us when she was just on a late last night. She was just on the internet, just randomly searching for stuff, and she came across the weekly article. And I was like, what the? how do people just come? Well, look at how powerful that one article that was written about us over a year ago has reached somebody in L.A. and then this random guy. But those things right there. I mean, we're gonna really have to tap into it. I mean, we're gonna have. I mean, if there are free advertisement, which is like this, that will write articles about products that love a good story, we're gonna have to go into it a lot more. Last year we did a good job. We did a good job as far as reaching out. This year, not so much. Not so much as far as us just being, uh, I would say, hitting the wall and just that's it. We just hit the wall and just be like, oh man, there's no way in, so we just stop. And we can't do that. Not when we get distribution. I talked to. I didn't know. I didn't know Victoria's Kitchen was getting manufactured at H.A. Ryder and Sons. And when I talked to uh, Andrea, and when I was talking to Andrea and Kathleen, and they were talking about, yeah, they're on it. They were like speaking real highly of David and his wife. Every little bottle, every sample, every they're really on the logistics. If something is missing, they're calling. I'm like, damn, this is only a two-man army. We got 7 people, and they're speaking so highly of these. Like, man, yeah, I mean, they're just their attitude, how they're going about it. They got a great product, and they're in a lot of magazines. They're in. And so that right there, that's three signs that was telling me, oh yeah, this is where it's at, because we're in the conversation. No matter what it is, it doesn't matter. We're in there, and we need to do like at least finish off this year trying to get back in there. Because look how a whole year later, and people are still talking about the weekly. Now, what about this year into next year? We got to find a way to get into the free advertisement, little Monterey Weeklies type of feel, papers. We need it, and not only that, but whatever else we can find our way in that looks for stories like us. That's our mission, because we need to be in somebody's conversation, and that's how I feel that exposure right there is gonna go a long way, just like it did for the weekly. And the story is that's what people, they eat that stuff up. When you read about stories like that, it's like, oh man, just like what I heard today. Man, I love the story. It's just I don't know, it's just so unique, and that's what the response was from a couple of people. I mean, I hear it all the time, but you just don't expect it, and it goes a long way. And so that's the challenge for marketing. Since we have hit roadblocks, we need to find a way around it, and it goes with just continuing to knock on doors and break through that wall. That's the best advice, because we broke through some walls already. We've done it, so it is possible, but we can't be satisfied. We can't be satisfied with a no, because there's someone out there that's willing to hear us out and do it for free, for that matter. Now there's a lot of other papers that charge, but there's a way. There's a way to get in where we fit in somewhere. We just got to find it. So that's what I was wanted to bring up as far as. I mean, those are pretty much all the updates for the past couple weeks. I want to jump into this weekly updates and presentations with sales, marketing, and distribution. Was this on Wednesday? Yeah, on Wednesday when we came together, we were going over sales and marketing. I don't know if you guys caught. We didn't actually go over marketing, but we went over sales with the PowerPoints that we had already, made. And to me, like it feels good when you sell a lot of product, or get a lot of product off, I should say, in a day. But then when you don't sell anything, like on Wednesday, we really went out there and we pushed. I mean, we got off over 50 cases or something. And then Thursday and today, it's only been one case. And the fact is, the reason why we get off so much is because of the accounts that are really pushing, which is the shells, and they are able to take on those loads. So my thing was, how can we get this thing turning a lot faster? Because if we're going to focus 80% of our time on these accounts, well, we might as well get them up to a hype where it's just repeated monthly orders. So I had this idea, and this goes like with marketing, but I had this idea because they're already running so many specials, 2 for $5. They're running the 5 cents off a gallon. I mean, they're really helping us out. And then you got the employees, they're working their tails off trying to push this product. And so, with that said, I said to myself, man, let's drop the standards as far as 65 cases. That's what Shell did in a month. The reason why Shell did 65 cases in a month is because they had first their manager, Abraham, you guys all know him, but he had he had a real solid team of go-getters. And then they split these guys all up and then, fired some, whatever. But once they split that team up, then you started to see, you get new people in, people quitting, new people in, the whole deal. But you have, if you have, when you have this group of people that are, oh, okay, let's do it, and they believe in the cause, they believe in the message, they feel a sense of pride because this is from us, our backyard, 831. Let's do this. I mean, I like these guys. I want to do it. That's why you get 65 cases in a month. So we kept it up at that level. Man, you got to do this. And a lot of these people, when we talk to some of the other accounts and say, man, it's just not possible. We can't do it. Why don't you drop it to 30? And so I said to myself, nah, man, 30 is it's too easy. But looking at the data for sales, it's not easy. It's hard because you don't have the same teams around you, which make it difficult. But when you throw out 30 like that, my thought was, let's do it. Let's do 30 cases a month for each location. Give them an incentive. We're going to craft up this new incentive program that we want to run, which is selling 30 cases, because you factor in, right? You got 11 accounts, 30 cases in a month. If you can do 30 cases a month, do the numbers. Let me run the numbers real quick. It's 33, so 30 times 24.6 equals 738. Huh?
Oh, no, never mind. I was doing it wrong.
So anyway, so it's $739.80. Now you times that by 11 accounts. That's $8,137.80. That's from 11 accounts right there. Now you're getting that on a monthly basis. Let's just, if they were to do it, this is just, projection and hypothetically speaking, times 12. If you were to get that out of them, 30 cases a month, that's $97,653.60. Once again, $97,653.60. This is why you focus 80% of your efforts on the ones that are willing to work with you. Now we could even say 20 cases for an incentive. Because look, here goes the thing that I'm thinking about. Okay, if they're able to get off 20 to 30 cases, we'll just break that down. 20 cases, 23 cases is 493.80. I think it is. That's what. Yeah, 493.80 cents. I believe that's 23 cases. I just want to double check. So yeah, 493.80 cents. So you get that 493.80 cents, 493.80 cents times 11 accounts equals, that's 54.31.80 cents. That's from 11 accounts. And then you times that by 12 months, still over $65,000 from this chain. Because I'm just trying to think of new ways to get these people involved, because you got to push from we got a good push from, I'll name them off, pretty much all of them. Let's see who's not doing well. The hardest one that I would say that would be the toughest challenge, because we can't really do anything for as far as sampling, would be the Carmel, and that's in town. That's where they don't allow you to do anything. That would be the hardest one to get to 30, but even so, if you can get 20 cases out of them, like throw an incentive program designed for that type of location. I'm just, what are you guys thinking about it?
30 cases?
I didn't catch the last part of off.
Go ahead, Ed.
Go ahead. I'll fit in after you.
All right. Just from my standpoint, looking at 30 cases, like it might be easy compared to like a shell to like like a shell in Marina and like a shell in like PG. But I think in Marina it might be a lot easier. But looking at these other towns where we're not so much in the people's face, I think it'll definitely keep the workers motivated, a lot more motivated than they probably are now. Um, Honestly, think it won't hurt us. I say we could just try it out and see how it goes, and just let them know what the incentives are and see how it works from the start.
Yeah, because to be
Yeah, I
honest,
was gonna say for the 30. Uh, go ahead.
oh no, no, I was just gonna add on. I was just because of the fact it seems, I mean, just by the summer alone, we're a seasonal drink, and what I mean by seasonal is because things when like now the kids are in school and product is flying, but that summer came around and it wasn't the summer that we want, and it's because of the fact that the kids know about us because of social media. I mean, kids are always trying to stay up to date. So what are they going to do? They're going to be up with whatever's in. Now, adult wise, yeah, there's people, but it's not the same amount of loyal customers, or I should say, uh, that same following that gives us that necessary push to get these crazy numbers in sales. And we learn that right now. Now we need to understand how can we tap into that market and our into that demographics, I should say. And I really feel that we could. It's going to be either we give up something, which is spending a little bit of money on incentive programs, or we just start losing accounts left and right, or these smaller accounts. But I'm not really too concerned about that. I really want to focus on the chains where we know we can win at because we have those people that are willing to push. But go ahead, S.
Now I was gonna say, as far as 65 cases a month, I think we threw it up there because in the highlight of it, it was brand new, and if you really look back too, we only had that account to focus on.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, like those Marina accounts, those were our initial accounts. Put a lot of our more than 80%, probably 90, 95% of the time into those accounts, and so that's why they were able to hit those highs. Um, but with every other account, obviously we got to see. We understand that it, like you said, in certain areas it's seasonal. I'm going through that a lot here in San Francisco because the like you said, school kids, they love it. I mean, in certain areas, what is it, White Palace? I went and delivered 2 cases, and then all of a sudden they called back again. What, 2 days later, 3 days later,
Yeah.
and it was just the beginning of school. But again, that guy, he's one of the guys that's pushing us, pushing our product from the inside, and it's him. It's nothing that I've told him to do. It's just my relationship with him from the beginning and letting him know, like, hey man, we're a startup. We want to try to work this thing, and if you give us opportunity, then that helps us. And so he's already on it. Like, he's one of those owners that, man, I'm in it for the little guys. I'm a little guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a small business. But that's why, White Palace is starting to move some numbers. Now the dilemma with White Palace is that they don't have a whole lot of stock room. And I walked through the stock room and I was just like, damn, they really don't have any space. So I tried to upsell him, but he didn't want to do the upsell because he doesn't have any space. So every store, obviously we're constantly seeing how they're very different. But again, it comes right back to what we're changing gears to do now. We're switching gears to focus on the 80%. The clubs that we want to focus 80% on. And then again, like you said, we may lose some clubs here and there based on they're the 20%ers. But those 20%ers, again, for me personally, I don't mind losing them because we're putting a whole lot more work into it than we need to. We're spending a lot more money than we need to on these small accounts that are doing 1 or 2 cases every here and there. You know, and then not only that, the response of them helping us out, it's like you're talking to the wall. It's like, you know, it doesn't matter. Ain't nobody really listening. So, you know, when we look at things in perspective, again, we were able to jump and hit those high numbers on the, you know, our initial counts, Shells and Rogers, you know, I mean, and Marina Liquor, or what is it? Yeah, Marina Liquors, Rogers, what is it, Paul's Place? Is that Rogers?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rogers. You know, like in those accounts, again, we got full support of the staff there. We got full support of the owners. You know, they're actually in it with us. And again, you know, we continue to build on that. Those numbers will go up. I just think that it's a lot more better use of our time. We can get these other accounts to do 30. I think 30 is a good number because it's the middle of, you know, where we're at. And again, it's the long run. When you look at it, 11 accounts, you were basing those numbers off of 11. Now think if we started getting those accounts up to 30 and we start moving on and focusing on other accounts, you know, and getting those up to 30,
Yeah.
you know, by the time we get those other accounts up to 30, the previous accounts that we worked on, they should be moving up itself just because we've already worked it up to 30. So really it should be either 30 or above. And then we just continue to go by account doing the same thing. But I think 30 is a good number because if we're trying to sell at least 10 plus 1, that's like our deal. You're looking at it 20 plus 3, that's about 23. They're right there, you know, about almost to 30 already with that one order or the 2 orders. You know, if you do 2 orders of 11 plus 1, that's 22 cases. You know, and we just keep working at that number till we do get up to 30 cases plus a month. But yeah, I think it's another thing too to set a goal. Again, like we go back to the beginning, we set a goal that's achievable and we build on it. But you know, just by throwing the number 60 out there, 65 cases, you know, that was in the beginning when we were really challenging ourselves and we were not knowing, you know, the industry, but we're like, man, we're going to challenge ourselves. What is it? 65 cases. All right, cool. There you go. Now we see how things really work, and we have to be realistic about that goal too. Yes, we would love to get up to those numbers, but again, everything has to be in working fashion, like we explained about Shell. They had a power team. You know what I mean? They had a whole group of people that were already in on it. They understood it. They knew what was going on, and they wanted to do it. We don't have that at every club or every account. So, you know, looking at those things, you know, we have to be realistic. And I think 30 cases a month, a goal to set for every account. We have 100 accounts. We just did the numbers on 11 of them. Think about if we got all 100 up to 30 cases a month. Now you're looking at, what, 98K times at least another 9. You know what I mean? That's about $1 million right there. You know, if you look at 100K, you're almost up to $1 million if we can get all of our accounts selling 30 cases a month. But you know, we have to break things down like this. We have to take a snapshot of it, and you know, looking at the 11, that's great because again, we build off of those 11. We build off the 11, and we just keep and it goes back to the beginning where it's like, okay, now we're trying to sign accounts. We went so hard at it, you know. Now it's the same thing. All right, let's go back into these accounts that we signed, and let's work it. Now there's a new goal though. The new goal is to get them up to the purchasing, purchasing certain quantities that that we would deem successful for each account. And I think 30 is a good number, really, because it's half of our, the most that we've ever done, and it's a realistic number that we can work towards. 60 you got to compare too. Is like most of our accounts are moms and pop stores. They don't have as much traffic as a Shell. They don't have as much traffic as some of our other accounts those are the main stores in those areas. So I mean, there's a lot that goes into play, but I really think that 30, even even starting with 20 on the smaller accounts. You know, like we've broken down accounts based on, okay, this account is cool, this account is, you know, basically like grades, A, B, C, D. The A's are the ones that we want to spend 80% at. The B's are the ones that we want to spend 60% at. You know, the C's are, or vice versa. You know, maybe the A's, we already got a good relationship with them, so we probably spend like 50% of our time there. But the other ones that we want to build, then, you know, depending on how big it is, depending on what the demographics and you know the ability to attract people there. You know, we base our time frame of what we're doing at these places by that. And I just think, you know, 30 cases is a really good number to go for.
Yeah. Let me just piggyback on what S was saying too. I was thinking something like how he said 20 cases. I was thinking maybe we'll have to like look at each account and yeah, basically what he said was like categorize each location and maybe lower the goal and then just lower the incentive as well to where it's feasible for them to accomplish it. And then once they accomplish it, it'll like once they get that incentive, and then we'll just like set another bar and a higher goal to them, and not only increase the goal but the incentives as well. And then I think once they get just like that taste of the incentive, then like it might like motivate them to even like try to go a little bit more as far as pushing the product in their store.
Yeah, most definitely. So I'm gonna get with sales. We're gonna draft up some new incentive programs and really attack this thing. I mean, because I just feel that we have a solid product, but I don't want to be seasonal. You know, I don't like that when we look at this summer, because that's the time of the year. I mean, if we're doing good in the winter, that's all right. That's a plus, because that's when we're not supposed to be doing good. But if we're doing good in the winter, we need to do even better in the summer. And that's how I look at it going into 2015. Like, okay, we got something with the kids, and now we need to get something going with these, like a little bit more with the retailer, get a little bit more push. I mean, we have certain people that in different locations, not just shells, but different locations that they're willing to go up to bat, but then just getting the whole crew on board. When you do that, oh man, we could really do some damage and get the numbers where we need to be, and then reach those goals that we set in place. Like I said, based on if we were to get all 11 accounts, that's 98K. Now you add in, you know, the rest. That's not like we don't even have to add in the full 100 to get to like 30 accounts, or 30 cases a month to get to $1 million in sales. That was only based on 11, almost 100K. So, man, that's what 11. We'll just say 22, 33, 44, 55. Oh yeah, it goes up, and then you can we're going to continue to add on locations, so that's even a plus too. You know, some of them is going to bring in, because the way I started looking at it is similar to some of these. Like we got something in the works with NPC, and NPC, the guy, he wants to sell them for $2.75, and we're like, well, it's a quarter. You know, most of his beverages go for $2 or $2.50 or whatever. And we're just saying, man, people are gonna pay, but you know, we'll work with you. He said, man, can you just drop it down a couple dollars? And we're like, all right, well, we're still making 43%. Well, hell yeah, we'll drop it down $2 but you won't get no deal. You you won't get nothing on that. We didn't tell him that. We don't. But that's what he wants to do. And I said to myself, okay, well, we have to look at it this way. You're not going to get the same profit margins in every spot. So you might as well work with somebody so you can get 20 here, 30 here, 40 there, and you're still, once again, it's bring it in. If you're willing to give up a little bit to work with them and and because they know their customers better than we do, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to adjust the pricing sometimes, sometimes for some convenience stores based on, hey, we're winning at the end of the day. If we can give them that little bit of a cut, and if they're going to work with us, if they're going to push it too, then yeah, let's do it. But like I said, I mean, this is just the path that we're on now, moving forward. I just really, I look at the hot and cold, and we should like it could easily because what I've been seeing at certain spots, we could easily lose people, like a lot of people. I mean, because when you have certain locations doing 11 cases in 3 weeks, and then they get their next 11, and it's been months since, and they still have like 5 cases, whatever, 4 or 5 cases. You're saying, wow, where the hell these people go? They just did 11 cases in 3 weeks. Well, you know, what's the deal now? And I mean, a lot of it has to deal with placement issues, whatever's internally going on inside the location that drives customers away to go to somewhere else. I mean, there's so many factors that come into play, and that's the thing. Like, man, that's what sucks about it because, yeah, we got a good product, but at the end of the day, the retailer could ruin it for us, and we're learning that from or the market. You know, the guy don't even want to put ice on it. He says he wants us to pay for the ice. He wants us to drain the cooler. He wants us to go the extra mile, and yet you go in there and he pushes the cooler in every aisle, making it hard for the consumers that are coming in there to purchase for it, and that's why he loses out on so many customers. And you get this feedback like, man, I'd rather just drive to Marina to buy because I know where it's going to be at, and these guys ain't going to be playing around. And then you lose customers based on the retailer because now you go in there for a certain product and you go and get that product and it's warm, and now you got to take it home and wait for an hour for it to get cold, and you lose. And then now, I mean, the only person that's honestly getting the blame is us because that's our product. The retailers, yeah, it is what it is, but I mean, yeah, they may lose out on customers, but it makes us look bad. And we're sitting here trying to make it work. We're trying to make something happen. We're trying to affect the bottom line in a positive way, and we get all these incidents, and it's terrible. And so that's why the whole refocus in the direction it has to go this way because I mean we have to be able to increase our profits, our sales revenue every year. I mean, if we're not doing well in direct-to-consumer sales, we got to find another way. Retailers, if that's where it's at, until we build up a solid consumer base through online store, and until we do that, this is the way we're going to have to go to get to the numbers that we're going to get to, or what we need to be. And I talked to sales about this. Our projected sales for this year, for to go at the pace that we're going at right now, it would be 69K. It's like almost like 30K away from what we did in our first year. A lot of that has to do with direct-to-consumer sales, and then, but I'm not trying to do that. I mean, that's not a good look. We went so high the first year, and then we dropped in the sophomore slump, and I'm not trying to do that. And I told them, I said, man, you guys should be mad. You guys should be mad. You guys should be looking at that number and be like, hell nah, we're not going to be doing that. We're going to be making what we need to make, and that's the goal. Every business, I mean, their goal is to increase by 10%. We wanted to do like 100%. We wanted to do 200K, and not with what's going on right now. And that's why we have to figure ways out for retailers to be more involved, get some things going so that we can make sure that we come up with, or we generate what we need to come the following year. This business is just the upside is just too big for us to slump in the second year, and I'm not about that. So we'll handle that. We'll get it taken care of keep everybody posted. I'll go into distribution and marketing last, but distribution, I talk with Marty Molina, COO of Power Brands, and he sent me over a list of distribution companies based in Northern California. So I had Ray look at them, and we're going to be reaching out because the summer is pretty much going to be over, and the busy time of the year for most of these beverage companies are, I would say all of them, there should be, is summer. So this time right now we'll catch them. We'll throw out the samples to them, see, get their full attention, and then try to get in where we fit in with at least, there's a whole list that he sent me. I'll show you guys right now, but it's, get it real quick. Yeah, he sent me over this list right here. And yeah, I mean, Bay Area, Sacramento. There's a couple of them that I already named too. And then, I mean, emails as well. Their the contacts. And so here it is. I mean, this is. I just feel that having Power Brands, like keeping them in the loop and keeping up with communication with them, is very beneficial. I mean, because of the fact that things like this, like we've been stressing the fact of we need to reach out to more people, and they just give us a full, complete list of who we need to reach out to. All these distribution companies, and so then once again, now you can't. There ain't no excuse now because you got a list of contacts, and you should be. And we'll go into that and start reaching out, doing our part. As far as marketing is concerned, tomorrow, whoever's available, the parade starts at 11 o'clock. The Marina Labor Day Parade, 11 to 12. What I want to do, because last year we caught the latter part of it, so we missed a lot of that crowd. But this year, I want to go back out there and really get people aware of the product through sampling, through flyers, and guerrilla style marketing tomorrow. Not only there, I want to do Monterey County hotspots. That's what tomorrow is going to be about. Finding these spots. Because last year we did that to the skate park. We ran up on them and we gave away free product. They loved it. What happened? The sales went up because it went up in September, then it went up in October because of those little things. We were out there in the field, and it was about exposure. It was about building brand awareness. These people in the community that are going in there and supporting, like I really have to tell you guys that they take it to heart when they run into us. They really hold they're like, oh man, these guys they're real. And when you show face to their events and you show support to them, that turns them into loyal customers, and that's the reason why they're going in there and buying every single day. Like this kid I ran into in Salinas, he took a picture yesterday with his jersey, and he was like proud. Oosh juice. He had like 3 bottles of Oosh juice with his jersey, and and I ran into him today, and he was like, oh, what? And for the simple fact that I knew who he was through social media, again, like he was going to go there. He was already going in there to buy Oosh juice anyways, but he seen me there, and then we got to talking, and he's like, man, are you guys going to come to any games? I was like, yeah, for sure, man. If you want us to come out here and support, we'll be there. Because he only thought we only went to Seaside and Monterey games. And I told him, now we had a little cousin that goes to Seaside, and that's why we showed up at a few games. But I mean, when people request us, if we have time, we're out there. But being in the community, like everything that we read about, when it says that, oh man, you need to be, like your face needs to be out there in the community, your company needs to be out there in the community, whatever it is, those things are true. they're big, and because it's a small community, that is the reason why the people will rally behind you and want to support is because we're not in a big city. We're in a small little town. So you're gonna run into people everywhere you go. And when they run into you, then they see how real you are. Even the guy, that picture that I took, I reposted with the guy who put the oosh juice in his gas tank. I ran into that guy, and he was. And here goes the thing: if I don't go to do a sampling at the Salinas Shell, I don't run into that guy. You know what? And he doesn't go in there and buy a drink because he was about to hop in his car and he was like, "Hey, oosh juice," and I was like, "What the hell?" And I was taking out the table and he was like, "Oh," and I ran over. I was like, "Oh, what's up?" He's like, "Man, I'm the guy that put the oosh juice in the gas." I was like, "Oh, damn, for real? That's what's up, man." His name was Danny, and he was like, "Man, now you just put something on my mind, man. I was just about to leave, and now that you showed up, now I remember I was coming here to get oosh juice." And I was like, just right there. That sale wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have been there. And it was just by, I mean, a lot of these things are by, chance that you run into these people, but, that we think. But to be honest, I really think it's like divine intervention because the reason why I bring that up is sometimes when I'll be driving around and I'll be debating on which location I'm going to go sample at. So, within my driving, I'll think of, oh, I'm going to go here, and then next thing you know, I go end up somewhere else and do a sampling, and that's how I run into certain people that follow us through social media. And then I just think to myself, oh, man, it was supposed to happen because these guys are already supporting, and now that they see you and how real it is, they're going to want to support even more. And case in point, that guy was like, "Man, I used to slam monsters all day, every day, start feeling it in my liver. I just couldn't do it no more." And then oosh juice came out. I started drinking it. I was like, "Oh, yeah, hell yeah." I started putting on all my friends and letting them know, "Man, that stuff's no good for you. Drop that. Oosh juice is better." Now I feel better, feel much alive. I got the boost that I need. I don't got the jitters. I don't get the jitters and crash. Everything that we always hear, like all this feedback, is real. And to hear it from the people that you just know through social media when you actually meet them, it makes it that much more special because we already knew we had something, but it's just confirmation. Being out there in the field, and that's how important it is. So tomorrow, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be out there first, within that hour. We got to get some I got cups, but we got to get some more. And we may pass out bottles depending on what the deal is, but we gotta. I'm gonna need you to put just throw some cases in the fridge just in case, because I'm gonna go drop some off at Rogers as well. But I just want to have some on, like for us personally, just in case, to have some cold ones, a couple cold cases as well. So when we push off, we have that. So we don't have to. Oh wait, are you busy tomorrow?
No, I was actually gonna say, yeah, I'm down.
Oh, okay, because just want to make sure. But that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna. I don't know.
Those bottles that we've been buying back, or you want?
Yeah, all of that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stick that whole. Try to get as many of those in there.
Yeah, throw those. Yeah, just do all those. The ones that we bought back, just do all those because I'm gonna go drop these cases off to Paul to put them in the cooler at Rogers, so because it's right there, and we'll have those on ready to go for tomorrow. And then I don't know if there's a skate thing going on tomorrow, but if there is, that right there would be once again do what we did last year. If it worked for us last year, why not again? I mean, these kids are already buying it, so giving them a free one is even that much more special to them. So we'll hit that spot up, and then we'll go try to find out. I really want to hit that Monterey skate park because I know a lot of kids, they go to that skate park as well, and so I want to see what it is, what's going on out there, and then even try to hit these spots that we know we can be booming in, like PG. See if something is going on out there. I mean, just really try to take advantage of this Labor Day weekend. On Sunday, I believe they said that we could come out there and sell sell product uh, at the little Marina Wolverines or something, the little football team.
Oh, they got a jamboree in PG.
Yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, if they're gonna allow us to sell, we might as well. And if it's in PG, that's even better because that's another market that we need to tap into a lot more. I mean, because if that one location is doing what it is, we need to pick up elsewhere for the other locations too. And so that'd be good for us to get out there and do some direct to consumer selling on Sunday. The last thing that I wanted to bring up, and then I'll drop it to you guys. But S, you're on, right? You can. You,
Come back on.
all right, cool. Because you went out for a second, but I want to show you something right now. And I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but I just want your honest opinion from. I just want your honest opinion, just going over it. I just want to hear what you think, and based on what we've talked about for Proud to Pay, and if you were to just come off with this, or if you were to just get emailed this, I should say, and this is what Will sent me. So take a look at it and then like read it through, and let me know what you think.
So this is what we're sending out.
No, this is not what we're sending out. I want your input of what you think of this.
I think that all the way through, I get exactly what we're saying, and it's structured really well. Um, just as far as grammatical, we just may need to tweak it a little bit so that we chop up the information um, in the bits and pieces. Um, yeah, but other than that, I get what you're trying to say.
Now, here goes the thing. All right, I understand that you get what, because we'll put this together, and You said, okay, you get what he's saying. Now, from a sales point of view, if you were to get sent this in an email, how would you take that?
From a sales point of view, I wouldn't know what you're asking for. If you're asking for, uh, I mean, I understand it talks about the proud to pay, but I think we have to have more information about the cost and what the cost is actually. I mean, it says what the cost is going for, but again, just break it down um, with more of a sales feel, letting them know like this is really what we're explaining, why it's $100. Um, but with this, it just sounds like we're updating them on product and hey, continue to support, but it doesn't really just hammer out, this is why we're running this campaign. This is what we need from you, and this is what you will be supporting. So, from a sales point of view, it'd be kind of it's not it's not attacking me enough to make me want to purchase.
All right, um, so here goes the thing. I mean, obviously, the reason I brought it up is for the simple fact that Will has sent me that. You have sent me this. I got it. Well, when I checked my email this morning, and then I looked at it for a second. I didn't even read the whole thing, and the reason why I didn't read the whole thing at first is because of the fact that it was just when I looked at it immediately. This is what went in my head. It was already too long, like way too long, because of the things that Esther's brought up. It didn't get to the point, and it was just too lengthy. Like like because I get so many emails regularly of people just trying to sell me on things, and they, for the most part, I'm just like, whatever. But they, the ones that catch my attention, obviously they could be lengthy, but then they're broken up, where you look, oh, okay, there's a break when it's not, everything isn't just one long paragraph and there is no chops, it ain't chopped up. But that right there, it just threw me off. It was like, oh man, I just right now instantly I didn't think it was anything about selling me on anything. And I believe I talked to you about this when I wanted to be like short and sweet to the point, no longer than a paragraph, if that. And I know that's kind of hard to fit in, like a simple paragraph, but it once again when our headliner, we're throwing out a headliner that's going to grab their attention immediately, letting them know about the Proud to Pay. I would just use Proud to Pay. I mean, that's just my idea or my thought. Proud to Pay. What does Proud to Pay mean? Well, let me check it out. Or something that just catches them. And then within that, it's not one of those emails where we're doing an update. Those emails are like how we talked about it, the prospect A's and prospect B's. Those are what those emails are for, those updates where we talk about locations, this and that. But this is specifically directed towards the Proud to Pay, creating a new flavor to the line. Those key points is what we want to stress so that they get it. They just get it off top. That right there, I didn't get. And it would, like I said, I would just probably threw it in the trash if it was because I didn't get it. I didn't even know it was a sale. And I know you guys have to feel where I'm coming from based on just going over it right now. But that's the feel that that we should be looking for, straight to the point. And because this thing is about to be over pretty soon, we just threw it out there for the most part. To be honest, I just really wanted to see who these who was who. And for the most part, the only people that I know is who was Flip and my mom. But
Yeah.
all these other people that wanted the new flavor, that want the online store, I was really trying to see, just like we talked about the 80-20. Who is this real 80-20%? Who are these people that are going to come up to bat for us when we need them? And so far, I don't see nobody. And that's that was the trial and error part, and just trying to test it out, see what it's about. And you wonder why a lot of these, like a lot of companies early on, they don't have an online store because there's no need. We're like focused on trying to grow the business outside, which is the retailers, the direct to consumer sales. There's no need to trying to speed the process up with an online store if when you put something up and you put your pricing that, hey, this is what it is. And I know for a fact that people are going on there and they're seeing, oh, damn, it's $100, and that's it. That just throws them off all the way. Like, oh, man, hell no, I ain't paying no $100. But that just goes to show you that no matter what kind of following we have, we haven't built up a brand, a trustworthy brand to be selling product through online like the major companies that are doing it right now. We haven't done that. And I mean, that was the whole reason behind, well, let's just try it out. We're going to find out what it is. But that's what I'm looking for as far as just getting out the email. What are your thoughts, Will?
Yeah, just like as far as just when I was doing it, because I remember you saying that you didn't want it to be longer than the paragraph, but just like when I was just doing it, and I just kind of felt like it was just like what you both said. It was like I just felt like it was just too much information in there, but I just didn't know what we should leave out. But I definitely see where you guys are coming from as far as just keeping it simple and like having that proud to pay, just being the headliner and just getting straight to the point. Um, I'll definitely go over to that tonight and get something made up and see if I can get this going at least by the end of this weekend.
What I'll do is send it to me, and I'll go over some stuff and try to help out to break it down. I just wrote some things right now, and I didn't know what Book was getting at when he was talking about if we're from a sales point of view and all that. But what I wrote out was exactly what we talked about just a minute ago. Proud to pay, that stands out itself. People are like, why? What is it about? So you have to have the meaning of proud to pay with the cost, straight to the point. So it's not blinding anybody. And then you hit them with the why. Online store, new flavor, expansion to reach outside the Bay Area, Monterey Bay, out of state, stuff like that. And then what you get out of it. And exactly what you get is the why. You help us to build the online store. You help us to create a new flavor. You help us. And so, again, we're constantly reaching out to them on how they can help build this company, how they can help, partner with us to really make this drink come alive. And those are the things that we hit on, and straight to the point with. But you can bullet point those things to make it shorter, to make it more eye-catching. It doesn't have to be, just written out in a letter format. That'll help you, like we talked about, break up the things so that it is choppy enough where people will it's easy to read. Just like, oh, here, the reason why is because they want to create a new flavor, they want to have this, they want to have that. Oh, and this is what we get, man. Thank you, shout out, whatever it is, whatever we come up with, but it's real choppy. And then I think one of the things you can kind of get away from is like thanking them all the time. What we do is every time we sign, we thank them. Thank you for continued support. this and that. But throughout the letter, we just keep it, straight to the point. And then at the end, go into the build a relationship part. But we sign off like that's our signature. Building that relationship. How can we help you? How can you help us? Really make them feel a part of it. So. But man, good effort though. Like I said, I understood fully what you were talking about, and that's how you pick and like throughout the letter, you can see what points you're hitting on, and we directly pull those out in bullet points instead of us. We say one tagline like these are the things that you'll be helping or partnering to do, and then bam, tagline, tagline, tagline. So then we don't have to explain each and every one of them. And we can leave something like for more information, contact this and that, and that creates, those that really want to know, that creates that back and forth conversation.
Yes, sir. And then I don't know if you guys have anything as far as marketing is concerned.
No,
Just
I didn't
based
have.
on one of the what we were talking about earlier. This is just what I heard, but I'm trying to think. I'm trying to do some more research on it. In terms of signing a distribution, a lot of times, because I've been asking a few times and I got the same answer, was about marketing, and they said that a lot of times when you sign with the big distributions like that, they have their own marketing path, like they refer you to, and you have to use that, and so you would be like partnering up with that marketing, whoever they go to for all their marketing, with their products. So maybe it's something to look into as well, for Ray.
Yeah, I think that it really makes sense though, because when I talked to Marty and when he just said, a lot of them they don't even want your incentive. They don't really care. They just that the sampling part is enough, but they have their own agenda. And run right now, you just basically confirmed everything that he was telling us was a couple months back, and it just makes sense. It's pretty much. I mean, how I see it, they're probably going to say, "Hey, man, we need this, whatever, that, or whatever we supply them with." And I don't know. I mean, I just once we get into it, then we'll know for sure
Yeah.
how to
I
go
think
about.
I think that's how it works though, because I've asked a couple people about distribution, and then that's what I always come up with. Like, yeah, we're making all these things, we're trying things out, and they're like, well, if you sign with a distribution, then they normally have their own marketing where you sit down with them and you tell them pretty much what your ideas are, but they also follow their guidelines on what they want people to be, what they want their brand to represent as well. So I don't know how that really works, but I've heard that from like 3 or 4 people already. And these are all the guys that do the delivering, like when I'm doing deliveries and stuff, and I run into some of those guys, they always talk about it like that. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Will. What was you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just saying. I didn't have nothing as far as an update.
All right, cool. That's pretty much it that I have for tonight. Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, and go ahead, end us out in prayer. Get on our separate ways.
Father Lord, we give you praise going on because you're worthy. We thank you for the meeting. that we had tonight, and we're able to continue to keep things on the table and discuss the plans that we have for this company, the plans that you put your stamp on, Father Lord. Continue to show us the way, continue to give us the resources and open the doors. Be with the rest of the team that couldn't make it tonight. Be with their families. Be with our loved ones. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray. Be with us for the rest of the evening. Amen and amen.
Man.
Amen.